First things first, what is educational reform? Educational reform is a kind of current Philippine educational system begins with 6 years of compulsory schooling, grades 1 to 6, which are split informally into 2 levels of 3 years each. The primary level is referred to as the primary level, whereas the intermediate level is referred to as the intermediate level. The system's educational quality is disputed. The quality of Philippine education and the primary and secondary levels has deteriorated since 2014. The pupils' NAT and NCAE scores in 2014 were much below the goal mean. Despite this, the low quality of the Philippine educational system is evident in the contrast of completion rates between Metro Manila and other countries' capital and largest metropolitan region, and locations like Mindanao and Eastern Visayas. While Manila has a near-perfect primary schools competition rate, other parts of the country such as Eastern Visayas and Mindanao have rates as low as 30%. This result is not surprising given the Philippine education system, as children from metropolitan regions can afford to finish primary schools. The second difficulty facing the Philippines educational system is funding. Even though the Philippine Constitution requires the government to devote and most significant resources to education, the Philippines has one of the lowest education budget allocations among Asian countries. The third persistent concern in the Philippine educational system is education affordability or lack thereof. The educational attainment of various socio-economic classes varies greatly. Students from low and high-income households who are socio-economically disadvantaged have far higher dropout rates in the elementary schools. Also, most tertiary first-year students come from well-off families. Finally, there is a substantial mismatch between training and actual occupations. As a result, many educated but jobless or unemployed persons remain unemployed or underemployed. So, what should we do about this? The Philippines has embarked on education reforms it views as critical to the country's economic development, bringing its school system up to international standards and seeking to expand access to higher education, all while supporting research that will raise the country's academic profile and provide long-term benefits. Ensure that all children have access to high-quality early childhood education. Arts, science, history, literature, civics, geography, foreign language, mathematics, and physical education should be all included in every school's curriculum. Ensure that underprivileged children have access to the medical and social resources they require to stay up with their more privileged peers. Eliminate high-stakes standardized testing in a favor of assessment that allows students to exhibit their knowledge and abilities.
Do you even know what is climate change? The term global warming rises in Earth's average temperature. In addition to the current rise in global average temperature, certain portions of the Earth may grow colder while others warm. Storms, droughts, wildfires, and elevated temperatures are becoming more severe, massive, and frequent due to climate change. Global warming can become irreversible, and if it can continue, humanity and all life on Earth will die. Do you even know what is climate change? The term global warming rises in Earth's average temperature. In addition to the current rise in global average temperature, Certain portions of the earth may grow colder while others warm. Storms, droughts, wildfires, and elevated temperatures are becoming more severe, massive, and frequent due to climate change. Global warming can become irreversible, and if it can continue, humanity and all life on Earth will die. Climate change research aims to understand global environmental change and how it will affect wildlife and civilization. Because of the worst-case of climate change consequences, successful adoption and mitigation measures will necessitate unprecedented collaboration across disciplines and the ability to respond quickly to changing climate concerns. Every year, the impacts of global warming affect our planet Earth, making it a terrible place to live. This speech will be the understanding the actual consequences of global warming on us and finding means to mitigate those effects utilizing our newly developed technology. What are the ways to avoid this problem? Educate the people about the risks of climate change and global warming. Spread awareness of climate change and global warming among people. Explain the impacts and effects of climate change and global warming. And lastly, to comprehend how we can limit and minimize climate change and global warming.